Welcome into the show, comrades. My name is Jack Sperry. I will be your host. Welcome into the Commander's Report. Today, we are going to be talking about Lamar Jackson, where it was revealed today that Lamar Jackson has requested a trade from the Baltimore Ravens. So, Commanders could be adding look to add another quarterback this offseason. Could be Lamar Jackson. We're going to be diving into the details here in just a second. But first, make sure that you are subscribed so that we can get a full-time channel here for the Commander's Report. Right now, Chat Sports has 4 new channels, which includes the Commander's Report. The one that gets to 2,000 subs, the quickest, is going to have a really good shot at getting that full-time channel, guys. Only one channel is going to get that full-timer, and right now, the Commanders are not in first place, but we're right behind Texans today. So if you click that subscribe button for me right now, it gets us that much closer to a full-time channel for your Washington Commanders here on YouTube. Now let's get into Lamar Jackson here, the former NFL MVP. He won it at just 22 years old in 2019. In my opinion, he's arguably a top 5 quarterback talent in the National Football League. He could do it with his arm. He could do it with his legs. There's not much that Lamar Jackson cannot do on an NFL football field, and he has requested a trade from the Baltimore Ravens. In fact, he did it all the way back on March 2nd, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. And, for me, guys, if I'm Ron Rivera, if I'm in charge here of this Washington Commanders team, I'm looking at Lamar Jackson. If I can get him on my team, I am pulling the trigger, because from the mindset of a guy like Ron Rivera, who might be on the hot seat here coming up here in 2023, I want the best possible shot at success. And in the NFC East, where you got 3 playoff teams in there right now, the Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Jets, and the Dallas Cowboys all made the NFC playoffs last year. You need to step up your game at the quarterback position. And if you get a guy like Lamar Jackson, you are adding arguably the best quarterback talent in the NFC, because all those great quarterbacks, the Justin Herberts of the world, Aaron Rodgers is heading to the AFC, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, all those guys are in the AFC. So if you can get a former MVP like Lamar Jackson on your roster, it's a complete game changer for the Washington Commanders. Let's take a look at his career stats here, going back to his MVP season back in 2019. He had 66.1 completion percentage, 36 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. The dude is an absolute freak. And then over the last couple of years, he's dealt with a couple of injuries. Last year had a couple of injuries, had a multitude of injuries at different parts of his body, actually. 2021, again, dealing with injuries, but he's still really dynamic, still getting into the 60s there in completion percentage, getting in the teens in touchdowns. And, last year he didn't really make a ton of mistakes either. So not only is he a dynamic talent that can do it with both his legs and his arm, he's not making a ton of mistakes either. So I think Lamar Jackson's career trajectory is looking really, really nice right now, and I think that it's looking pretty darn good for him to be a really good quarterback in this league for a long time. Maybe he can do it as a Washington Commander. Now, the thing is with this guy now, with Lamar Jackson, is that he wants a really big contract, right? If you trade for him, it's probably going to take I would say probably 2 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders. Okay, so that's what it's going to take to get him there. And you're going to have to give him a new contract. And right now he wants about 4 years, $200 million fully guaranteed. And the reason why he is so adamant of getting it fully guaranteed is because of the Deshaun Watson deal with the Cleveland Browns, which was 5 years, $230 million fully guaranteed. And, Lamar Jackson wants to be paid like one of the top guys in the league because, quite frankly, he's earned it. He won an MVP at only 22 years old. He's still a really dynamic talent. He wants to be treated like one of the best QBs in the National Football League, but the Ravens don't want to give him that fully guaranteed amount of money because, a guy like Lamar, he's always on the run, he's taking hits. He does have that injury proclivity, and, giving guaranteed dollars to someone like that is not something the Ravens are willing to do at this point. Then if you take a look at the Washington Commanders quarterback depth chart, there is no question that Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett and Sam Howell right now. Like you added Jake Fromm as a backup here in free agency right now. We're not going to be talking about him though. Okay, guys, we got Jacoby Brissett, Sam Howell. Are you willing to not only pay the large price to go get Lamar Jackson, 2 firsts and 2 seconds, plus give him the bigger contract. Is that worth it over a guy like Jacoby Brissett or Sam Howell? I'm not too sure, but, another option for the Washington Commanders is to go get somebody in the draft. We talked about these 4 guys a ton on the show. You guys know how much I love Bryce Young out of Alabama. C.J. Stroud's got a really high floor, in my opinion. Those guys are looking like they're going to go 1 and 2 to the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans. So if the Commanders are going to get one of these guys, it's probably going to be trading up into the top 10 for a guy like Will Levis or Anthony Richardson. Now, the thing with Levis and Richardson is that they're both what I would call projects. They're both pretty raw right now, and they both need to develop if they're going to become NFL level quarterbacks. Like Anthony Richardson, you're not going to be able to play him year 1. You're going to be going with Jacoby Brissett for a year or Sam Howell for a year while Anthony Richardson develops. He is that raw. And then Will Levis, man, I think that he's got some serious accuracy issues. I think that he has a really good chance to bust, if I'm completely frank with you, but the tools are there. He can run well. He's a great leader. He's got a ton of competitive toughness, which I really like. He's got that kind of mentality that you want from the leader of your franchise. But let me know in the comments section right now. Who's your QB1? Who do you want to be the QB1 of the Washington Commanders in 2023? If you want Lamar Jackson, type LJ. If you want Sam Howell, type SH. If you want Jacoby Brissett, type JB. And if you want to draft a rookie there in the top 10, type DR.